The Haas application has essays, it requires a resume, interview, there's a recommendation. What is the purpose of those different elements? Because I think that applicants sometimes think they're just kind of, why don't you do this? And why don't you ask me that? And, but from what I know, they're very purposeful.
So the way we look at it here is we start with the student's story, their narrative. Where are they in their life today, their career, their motivations, their personal life, and where are they going to? Within that narrative, we see each of these components of our application as the structural elements of that narrative arc, the scaffolding, if it were. And so if you look at our essays this year, our first essay is asking you, what makes you feel alive while you're doing it and why? And it's a personal essay. We're seeking to understand your motivations, what's driving you towards your future goals. Our second essay is a leadership essay. It specifically asks for an opinion, but what do you think the future of leadership holds? Now, we are at an inflection point. No question, we were framing this question as an inflection point based on the decade, because it's a nice line to draw in the sand and say, this is looking back, this is looking forward. But even further with this pandemic, this is a moment in time where business is going to look different in the future. And so we're asking folks with that second essay, what does the future hold? Where are you heading? How do you see yourself in it? And so if we started with the beginning and we're settled there and where you're headed, everything in between is the structure that supports that narrative. Those resume, the work experience that gives us an opportunity to understand what are the professional experiences that have either triggered those motivations, that have supported those initiatives, that have built those skills towards your future goals. When we come to the academic section, how have you demonstrated through your application the academic rigor necessary to manage our program? What are those indicators? What do those look like? And we navigate those spaces in a holistic fashion. And by that, I mean, if within your standardized testing, you're not demonstrating strong understanding of quantitative ability, but your professional experience is chock full of data work, of analysis, you have that quantitative exposure. And so we'll look there. And we'll look in the counter as well. If your professional experience does not demonstrate supervisory, but you demonstrated leadership attributes through extracurricular or through clubs and initiatives that you participated in your undergraduate, it adds there. So thinking about I think to your point earlier, the candidates look at the application in a linear fashion. We pull that completely apart within our review process. We find that narrative journey that the candidate has shared with us, and we plug these pieces in where they fit. How do they support this narrative arc?